Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Common Rabble. My name is Pat. I'm here with
Ham,
Hoodie,
and DZ.
And we are excited to be here podcasting for all you fine people out on the internet. What's going on, y'all? How have you been? I just came back from a nice weekend retreat, but what y'all been up to?
it was my partner's birthday this weekend, so we kind of just went out, did a bunch of stuff.
We got drunk.
Yeah, was a bit hungover yesterday. Today, I feel like I'm underwater, if that makes any sense.
Unfortunately, I can relate.
But yeah, it was pretty chill. We hit up a rooftop bar. I had to make a reservation for that. It's called a High Five. A little overpriced for what they were offering. Spent $30 for meat and cheese, and they gave you like the most pathetic serving of each. So
it's a rooftop bar. You're paying to be on the roof.
Yeah, you're definitely paying for the view of downtown Oakland, but not even like the nicer visual part of downtown Oakland. So from the spot, you could see the new Parkway.
Oh,
like, so you're seeing that. You're seeing the back of the industrial part of downtown Oakland. So it wasn't like a nice view at sunset, but once the sun went down, it was just like whatever. But overall, pretty chill weekend.
I'm getting ready to go back on vacation again.
Let's go.
I fly out to Vegas on Friday, so
Hell yeah, bro.
Heading out there for a concert or
festival.
Which one?
Sick New World.
Okay.
It's when we were young for the new metal kids.
I see.
You're not just gonna stay out there for double or nothing.
I thought about it, but I can't stay in Vegas that long. 4 days is already too much.
You're going to be too down with the sickness anyway.
You know, it's funny. Disturbed is not playing.
Yeah, they're not. Huh?
That's a pretty big omission from that lineup.
Is Korn going to be there?
Yes, they are. Papa Roach is going to be there. System of a Down.
Mudvayne?
No, I don't think so.
Hoobastank.
Hoobastank is going to be there.
Oh, finally get the opportunity to let the stank out. So happy.
I'm very excited to let the stank out. I'm going to see them play exactly 2 songs. I just want them to play The Reason and Crawling in the Dark, and I'll be good.
They have more?
No.
Their sets will be 2 songs.
Yeah.
Hey, they could play Crawling in the Dark for a whole set, and I'd watch that. But I can't believe I'm legitimately excited to see Hoobastank in 2023.
Sometimes you got to live for the meme.
We've all it's just come full circle. We're back to the high school bands. It's fine.
High school?
Yeah, it's not high school. Is that middle school?
The Reason came out when we were in elementary school.
Oh, God.
Wow.
Really?
It
was like 2001
Oh, man.
or something like that.
Yo, is that song post 9/11 or pre 9/11? If it came out in 2001, it was probably recorded pre 9/11.
It came out on 9/11.
I can't guarantee it was 01, but
I would like to know about. I feel like this is a good thing to revisit. Just music that we learned that was recorded pre 9/11 and then still released unedited, so we can look at like the poor aging of that and people that use that it was recorded pre 9/11 as an excuse for why their shit is weird. But
I mean, I don't know if I'd call it weird, but didn't the Strokes omit New York City Cops from Is This It because of 9/11?
maybe.
I think that's true. And also a Jimmy Eat World song. I think it was Bleed American from the album Bleed American. I don't know. Their album came out right around 9/11, and they definitely also had some kind of weird censorship thing. I don't know. It was a weird time.
Yeah, I know they cut the Twin Towers out of Spider-Man. That was a big thing. I think that's like one of the more notable popular ones. Yeah, like in the trailer, there's a scene where
you can see him.
He's
just chilling in between the Twin Towers, and then 9/11 happened before the movie came out, and they just took that scene completely out of the movie, but it was in the original trailers.
Makes sense.
An iconic moment in cinema taken from us. And other stuff. But mostly that shot.
Thanks, George Bush.
DZ, you been good?
Yeah, just spent the last couple days or hanging out with Ham over the weekend for his partner's birthday and stuff. But in my other little bits of free time, I've been like trying to get more done in that spare room, in like my room that I was talking about.
Room update. Yeah, that's half the reason I come on this show still is to get your room updates.
So far, I like acquired a desk off Facebook Marketplace, and I didn't realize till I got it was free. So I didn't realize till I got it home that it was like cheaper than I wanted it to be, but it's okay because the floor creaks in that room and I wanted something light. So it's a very light desk and it's just sitting in the corner and it's going to prevent me from walking in an area that I feel like might cave in under my feet. I don't think it will, but it might. And then I got like my pegboard up with all my power tools on the wall and stuff like that. So I was able to get them off the ground.
Pegboard was.
Interesting. I bet.
Should we unpack that?
Not now. But yeah, I've got like a pull-up bar, push-up bar combo thing that I was able to get like set up so I can go back to doing some type of like exercise in the house. And then I keep going into the closet in there and it's like where all of my non-power tools are. And I just look at it and I'm like, yeah, fuck that. And I just walk away every time. It's just like a pile of them on the floor. And I'm just like, there's too much sorting that needs to happen here for me to want to deal with this.
You need like a toolbox or something?
I have like 4 different toolboxes and it's like the conglomeration of like 2 jobs that I worked at where I kept the tools afterward and then like my personal tools and then tools that have been given to me. And I got doubles of some stuff. I have shittier tools and good tools. I don't know how to sort it out to like a usable kit.
Are you a tool hoarder?
Yeah, 100%. The shittiest tools I've had though, I definitely have gotten rid of like in the last couple of years because of that exact thing. Like I know if I have it, I'll just keep acquiring the wrenches. Why not? Why throw them away? It'll be useful eventually.
You need some box for your tool. It's what it sounds to me.
And I have them. They're just on the floor. All the toolboxes are now empty because I pushed all the tools on the ground. Damn. So I can sort them eventually. But it's getting there. It's moving along.
So we are all on social media. You should all know that by now because I'm sure everyone listening has gone and followed on your favorite social media platform of choice. But if you're tuning in for the first time, you can hit us up on Insta, TikTok, Twitter, YouTube. And if there's another one that's weird, we don't want to be on it. And that's all you. But yeah, go give us a like, drop a follow, all that good stuff. We love engagement.
At Common Rabble Pod.
At Common Rabble Pod.
And hey, if you're on some, real niche social media, drop it in the comments. We'll take a look. Can't say we'll be on it, but
yeah, maybe we'll end up on your weird like vampire like role playing message board. Who knows?
You guys remember Vampire Freaks?
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Didn't want to give him the shout out, but here we are.
Vampire Freaks, if you're listening, please reach out.
There's no way they're still listening.
Oh God,
no way. So you guys like tacos?
I just had Taco Bell.
Taco Bell, that counts. That's technically tacos.
20 minutes before we went on.
Is it tacos?
It's
tacos.
It's food.
It's a semblance of
It's food.
Yeah, it's tacos. Got tacos for lunch. But yeah, I wouldn't consider Taco Bell taqueria.
No, absolutely not.
Yeah, so as listeners may or may not already know, we are from the SF Bay Area, which is like a large hub of food in general, but specifically Mexican and Latin food are pretty big in our areas. I believe Oakland is pretty well known for their taco trucks. Does anyone have a specific taco truck that they have in mind that's like their go-to every single time?
Taco Sinaloa. I knew you were going to say that.
That's the one on Fruit.
That's the basic answer.
Also on 21st or 22nd?
Sinaloa?
Oh, Sinaloa was the 2 trucks.
Yeah, they have
The
two.
orange
With
trucks.
I got the gas by the gas station.
It's on Fruitvale. Yeah, I just don't remember which intersection. I think it's 21st.
Gotcha.
Yeah, okay.
22nd. It's 22nd.
Okay, it is.
Because it goes
22nd.
right to the freeway.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
If it's not Sinaloa, then it's Guadalajara.
Guadalajara is not bad.
Mm-hmm.
I like that one. That'd be my vote. The Guadalajara truck.
Sinaloa, I feel like just playing the hits, man. It's just you want a taco, go get a taco.
Which
You're
is
not
the
gonna
one?
get a mind-blowing taco from Sinaloa.
Which is the one at Goodwill?
That one's pretty good too.
Migruyense.
Migruyense.
Oh,
That's,
that one.
that's
Yep.
like one of my favorite
Yeah.
ones, just because it's always open. You never feel safe, but that's how you know it's going to be good. It's just like if you think you might get robbed in the parking lot of that taqueria, it's probably going to be some good food.
I thought of one positive for Sinaloa. Their shrimp, hella good. Everything else, pretty whatever.
Isn't their logo like a little shrimp?
Yeah, it
Their
is.
shrimp, yeah, I was gonna say like their shrimp, their seafood, really good.
if
We're
I
talking
would-
about outside of Oakland, El Farolito, I think it is. They're open till like 2 or 3 in the morning or something like that. So it's like a solid place to hit up after the bar. But they have California burritos. I don't like those though. But like everything else on their menu is like very solid. Their tortas are really good and like substantial, and then their burritos are also like very substantial and taste really good.
So what is it about the California
Just the French
burrito?
fries. If I want to have French fries in my food, I'll go. I'll go to Taco. I mean, not Taco Bell. I'll go to Taco Bell. I'll go to McDonald's or something.
Man, like I feel like more foods need French fries in them. And I don't know what makes that California. Like that's, as far as I know, that's not necessarily California style. That's like San Diego style.
Yeah, but
like, I'm pretty sure that started.
Anytime you
SoCal.
see California burrito, it just means French fries.
It should be the
Okay.
San Diego burrito, but it somehow is the California.
I mean,
burrito.
the best California burrito I had, I can't remember the name of the place, but it's right across the street from the Padres Stadium. I went there
There you
with
go.
one of our friends who we went to go watch a game, and he's like, "Hey, let's go get a California burrito." And I'm like, "Why would you put French fries in a burrito? This is a terrible idea." I was thinking a lot like DZ. And then I had it, and they put hot Cheetos in it, and I was
Wow.
like, life.
I draw the line at the hot Cheetos. We don't need to put chips in the burrito. You can put chips in your sandwich. Don't put chips in the burrito.
Ham, you
French
need to
fries, though.
live.
Don't know how.
It's like the TikToks that are going on right now about people in the UK eating a Chinese, and it's just like their version of Chinese food is like some colorless, flavorless looking bunch of BS, and then French fries.
Yeah, what is going on over there? They don't know how to cook at
You'd
all.
think that after all of the spice wars they started, they would use something.
Yeah,
but
they
no.
figured out curry, and they just because they took it, and then that's it. But
Yeah.
you try to get some local delicacies.
Everything else is flavorless or mushy peas and bangers and mash or whatever.
Fuck with mushy peas. But, like, I don't like peas alone, but like when we went to Canada and got the stout pies with the fucking, just instead of mashed potatoes, it was just a fucking dollop of mashed peas with gravy still though. Like mind blowing. Literally changed my life.
Last time I ordered mushy peas, I just got a cup of regular peas, unsalted,
you
flavorless.
didn't read the bottom where it said mush yourself.
mush yourself. They didn't even give me a little musher or something.
So when you say mushy peas, you guys literally mean just like mush.
Literally like mashed.
Like you creamed some corn, but you did it with peas instead.
That sounds awful.
I know.
But yeah, back to the taquerias. I know that there's a pretty well-known spot in San Jose that are known for their burritos.
Oh, La Vix.
I wasn't going to say La Vix. La Vix is known for their sauce. They're not known
true.
for the burrito specifically.
Iguanas?
The burrito,
Iguana.
yeah, the burrito recognition goes to iguanas because they have the burrito-zilla.
Yeah.
I just saw a random TikTok earlier and it was like a dude on a fucking scooter trying to, like two dudes on a scooter, like sharing burrito-zilla. And, and it was just like, only in San Jose. Like, I was just like, I know exactly where they got that fucking burrito from. But yeah, like, and I feel like food challenges, I feel like aren't really a thing out here anymore. I feel like they were like when
It's
we
too
were in high school.
expensive. It's too expensive now.
You guys remember?
Sumo Grub.
Yes.
Oh shit!
That hellhole. That place. That
R.I.P.
demonic. I don't even know.
Just to give a little bit of context to Sumo Grub, this was a place that would tempura fry everything.
They had an option to bring your own whatever to fry.
Amazing.
And they had
miss it so
food
much.
challenges. One of them was pretty much every dessert that they could tempura fry. And you had like, was there a time limit
There
on it? It
was
was
a
like
time limit.
30
It
or
was like
45
30
minutes.
It
or
was
something.
Oreos, a Snickers bar, Kit Kats, a Reese's,
Ding dong
Twix,
and a ho
Twix,
or
like,
something.
like 2 scoops of ice cream,
Yeah.
all tempura fried, and you had like 30 minutes to finish it.
Somewhere on my
regret
like
never getting
Google Photos account, I have the video of that guy that did the burger challenge that one time we went, and he failed. He got like halfway through one burger and he was like, "I'm done. I can't do this." She's like, "You were talking all this good shit, dude. What do you mean?" I literally recorded this video because I thought you were gonna eat all these burgers. Now
How
it's
many
just
burgers did he have?
It was like he ate one, but it came with like it was two.
It was two
Big ass,
like pretty big.
yeah,
fried burgers. Like,
Yeah.
they make the burger and then they
And
deep
then they
fry
dump
the
that
whole
whole
burger.
But it also had like deep fried like onion rings on it too, or something like
Yeah.
that. And it was just like
It was loaded.
it was meant to
it was
kill
a thick
you.
burger.
Yeah.
Yeah, like literally anything that you would normally get, like the tomatoes, onions, pickles, all that shit was fried and
Just
then
like
added to the burger.
deep
They didn't
fried
fry
too.
the bread. That was hyperbole. But
Okay. Yeah, they should have
But the meat,
fried that whole
the
thing.
meat patties were deep fried. All the toppings were deep fried. Like, it was fucking abomination, and I miss it every day.
I'm pretty sure one of the challenges was called like the heart attack or something.
Probably that burger. It was probably that burger.
Yeah.
Because that shit was disturbing to like just seeing it actually be pulled out. I was like, oh man, that's like
I'm pretty
dangerous.
sure. I'm pretty sure I can chart like when I started like gaining weight, like at like a faster rate.
It was
when
2
we
a.m.
started
It was
going-
like 2 a.m. on a Thursday night after we closed the movie theater and like
Yeah, I'm sure it had
went
to
to
happen when
Berkeley.
me and A1 were at Sumo Grub, and that was the slow decline.
The beginning of the end. Well, Sumo Grub's gone and you're still here.
It's a good sign. Are there any like exclusive items at restaurants in the area you guys are familiar with? Like I already mentioned, like the
burritos
orange sauce
on
and
the taquerias thing actually. Like Senor Sisig, it's not a taqueria, but it's like a Filipino fusion burritos and stuff
have
like
trucks.
that. They do, but it's like it's essentially a taqueria, but they also have a California burrito. But that's probably one of my like favorite type like burritos. So like when they have like off the grid and stuff like that, and the food trucks are around, like one of their burritos and add an egg to it is that thing is delicious. But also like with that, I'm pretty sure that that's just like a Bay Area like local thing. And another place I didn't realize, I just had like a thing with my work where we bought lunch for everybody that was at the office, and I didn't know that Koja Kitchen is a Bay Area only
really
thing. I thought it was everywhere. Yeah, it's literally just in the Bay Area. It's not even like farther than San Jose.
Yeah, they started as a food truck out here.
Yeah, and they had one in LA and it closed down.
is that why all the
storefront.
Kojas specifically have like the city? They're
It might
on the
be.
name?
I think they're like local, bought out, not franchises type of thing. That's like locally owned or like small owner and not just like a franchise.
Is that why the Alameda one is always running out?
The
of fucking
Alameda one
portfolio?
is something different technically. I think it's like Koja Alameda and not Koja Kitchen or some shit like that. Yeah.
Well, so how many different Kojas do they have now? There's like Walnut Creek, Berkeley,
like 7.
Emeryville.
Emeryville,
There's
SF, right?
There's like San Jose or Santa Clara.
San Francisco?
Yeah, there's San Francisco. There's a food truck in San Francisco that's Koja Kitchen that's constantly there at some little.
Do they still show up to
beer
Off the
garden.
Grid?
Yes, in Alameda. That's the only time I ever really get them. Or like in downtown Oakland, you got to go before 10 o'clock or something like that to get it while it's still open. Yeah.
Let's say, did y'all ever pick up on like the quesadilla fad? That was like a big thing.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
what's hella good.
like just pre-pandemic or like mid-pandemic.
I think
but
I
those shits
remember
popped
reading
off.
an article about it during the pandemic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a buddy who he has a stand in West Oakland, and that's all he makes is quesadillas. He bought a fucking house.
Yeah,
This man is like living his life because of the quesadillas, and he's like young black guy, just like doing it big, and he just sells out every single day that he's out there. It's some of the best ones I've ever had though too. Like
I'd say the best ones I've ever had are from Tacos La Cabana. It's a small little red taco truck, completely unassuming. You wouldn't even think it was there, like unless you like walked by it. But like best quesadillas I've pretty much ever had. I was gonna say, haven't had your buddies. They look amazing. They look great. But I feel like
the crispy is the only thing I've never had with other quesadillas is like what he does, whatever the taco shell or the tortillas he's using, plus the cheese he's using, the crisp on that is just like something that I have not had before. And like I've tried quesadillas at many different places, and just like this is the one I've come back to and been like, damn, I'm surprised every time I eat this, like how good it is. And I'm like willing to die a little bit inside for the cheese because it's gonna murder my insides, but
yeah.
it's kind of worth it.
Where's this guy work out of? I'm trying to go see what this hype is about.
It's his name is Chef Green, and he is on like 7th Street in West Oakland in front of a church that he attends. But he's usually there from like 12. It's bad time. It's like from 12 till he sells out. So it's usually like 12 to 3 o'clock.
Okay.
So like noon to 3 o'clock on a
short
Tuesday.
window.
On a Tuesday.
Okay.
So it's like I'm coming back from SF or something like that, and I'm able to like skirt by and just grab a couple. They're not the cheapest because they're like $7 a pop,
Oof.
but it's very
not
good. It's
that
that's the
bad.
thing.
That's not that
It's
bad.
like that's a comparable price to everybody else. But it's like it is good. And like he was experimenting with some like doing 5 to 7 o'clock too sometimes, and so that might be the time
let
to
me
catch him.
know.
Yeah.
That's when I'm gonna be
I will
going.
shoot you the Instagram page. It is definitely like it's funny. Like I was there one time, and literally the BART trains that are driving overhead, the conductors of the trains will literally be like, "I'm coming down there in a couple minutes. I'll see you in a little bit." And I was like, "What the fuck?" He was like, "Yeah, all of them know me. They all love my talk." I was like, "Yeah, that's great. That's the spot."
I'll say I don't know if I specifically trust your opinion on that though, because of that barbecue spot you were talking up during the pandemic.
It's gone.
It's gone.
It was the best rated barbecue spot in all of Oakland, and
Are you
now it's
serious?
gone. Yeah.
Oh wow! It was just sugar pork.
It
bro.
was a
It was not barbecue. It was sugar pork.
It was a maybe you got something different than what we normally got.
You picked it up. You bought it for me.
Oh, you probably got something because I usually get like 4 meats, chicken, beef, pork, and like sausage and like hot links or something like that.
Brisket. That's the only thing.
Oh. That was literally like rated like 4.8 or 4.9 stars up until it closed, and it's just like some shithole in the back of a bar.
Yeah,
but it was good.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm super picky about my barbecue sauces though. Like if it's too sweet, I don't even want to fucking eat it.
But if any of you listeners out there have any ideas for good taquerias or good hidden gem food spots in the Bay Area, let us know. We'd be interested in, going and checking it out.
Yeah, take a field trip.
Maybe find out some more, and we could even do a live review. But who knows?
And you'll get all the credit.
Yeah. We'll be sure to shout you out if we do.
Yeah, we'll at you.
I want to shout out Senior Seasick one more time real quick because they also have a something called the Crunchadilla, which is just a Crunch Wrap Supreme.
Oh, yeah.
But like with real ingredients.
Yes.
And that shit's pretty good.
Yeah. And it's got like the Filipino pork or whatever.
Yeah, it's got the tocino or whatever the fuck
Mm.
the sauce is, adobo.
So good.
I don't know. I'm just saying words.
Yeah.
Yeah. So being from Oakland, all of these places tend to be here in our hometown or closely related towns. Is there anything that particularly stands out about your town that's like, damn, like this is something you don't see everywhere? Like things you love, things you hate, like just things that are unique about where you're from. Because like for me, I would say it's the fucking food trucks. Like I've never been somewhere where there was such a density of them like we have in like our downtown Fruitville areas. Like those larger metropolitan areas are just stacked with restaurants and stuff. Like SF has a bit too, but I don't really go out to SF too much just because it's a pain in the ass to get there. So I just don't go. But anything that stands out for y'all?
Well, interesting because 2 of us are from one town and 2 of us are from the other.
But they're neighboring towns.
But they're neighboring. So I feel like we all have a lot of insight. Hoodie, what you got? Lay it down for me. You look eager.
So it's not food truck related. I'm going to hark back a few episodes and just say, if we're going to talk about things we love and hate about our hometown, and this is a love and hate, the Oakland Athletics.
Ooh.
Worst team in baseball.
Makes
But-
sense.
If we're going to talk about actual things in our hometowns,
Things
given
that aren't going to abandon you.
that A's are like my dad.
Worst dad in baseball.
What did he leave to Vegas too?
Actually, he does live in Vegas. Yes.
See, there you go.
And he keeps giving me shit about how the A's are coming there. And he's like, oh,
Now you have to come live with me.
Hey, shout outs my dad. Love you, dad.
Shouts out Hoodie's dad.
If
Papa
you're
Hoodie.
listening, hit us up.
Don't hit us up. No, if we're gonna talk about things we actually love and hate about our hometown, I know for me and Pat, like I think one of the things for me, it's changed a lot, but when we used to go down the main street in town, and there were all kinds of just little shops with knickknacks and
Happy
cool things.
Trails.
Video game exchange was what I had in mind.
Man. Yeah.
Video game exchange.
Yeah.
That
Just
place.
Our main drag has a decent amount of like local businesses and kind of unique shops. You might not, nothing like mind blowing, but cool enough.
I'm going to amend that to had.
Yeah.
COVID really wreaked havoc on that strip.
They've got a huge diversity of restaurants there though. Like
That is still true.
Bars
That's
too.
nice.
I think the only things that survived were the restaurants.
Yeah.
And like 4 of them are Thai restaurants.
There is an abundance of Thai
kind of
food
a lot
out there.
Yeah. With not even that far from each other too. That's the best part.
I think 2 of the Thai restaurants are on the same block.
Yeah, exactly.
There are a couple businesses apart, like 3 or 4.
I mean, in the same vein of the abundance of like taco trucks in Oakland, we have an abundance of restaurants here.
Yeah.
It's varying quality for sure. Some of them are great. Some of them are.
It definitely makes for the best like walking experience to be able to like be indecisive on foot, like where at least in Oakland, it's a little harder to do that because it's like you're never going to find a bunch of restaurants that are near each other that are like around the same quality. You might find a good one and then a bunch of really shitty ones or something. But like at least in Alameda, you could walk down the block and you're passing like 15 restaurants. At least 3 of them are good. 5 of them are probably like highly rated. There might be 1 or 2 that are really shitty, but still better than some of the ones in like Hayward or something like that.
The ratio is probably good.
Yeah.
And most importantly, it's walkable.
Yeah, exactly.
And on top of that, if you're out late at night, there's a Jack in the Box.
It's true.
I was thinking about that the other day, that how it's funny that on Park Street that's the main drag, but I was like, there's the Jack in the Box is really the only, like, there's so many restaurants here, but that's the only fast food place. But then I remembered the KFC is a block away, and so there's really 2.
Yep.
But I still think that's
Because
interesting.
then you have to go down to South Shore to get like Burger King and McDonald's, and that's
Right.
like way out of the way.
It's way out of the way. You go to Webster.
I always forget they're there.
Yeah,
There's a ton
Taco
of
Bell.
Yeah, way more fast food.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's the dilemma
more
too. 'Cause
chains.
Is the Taco Bell gone on the East End?
Yeah.
too?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Wait, are you... Wait, on the East End, sorry.
Yeah.
I thought we were talking about the Taco Bell on Webster, and I was about to...
No.
I was going to flip my lid.
Like I was just there.
If that one's gone, we're all hope is lost.
Yeah.
Well, we'll still have the In-N-Out.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm not drunkenly going through the In-N-Out parking lot at 2 in the morning, or the In-N-Out drive-through at 2 in the morning because I'm hungry. Just
Fair
gonna
play.
be honest.
Yeah. On the topic of hometowns, I think a lot of discourse I've been seeing lately is about urban planning and just like walkable cities. And I mentioned this earlier, but Alameda, fairly walkable. And that's something that I used to do a lot when I was younger, before I could drive. But now I appreciate it way more.
Yeah, definitely. I constantly think about the fact that like before this whole discourse about like 15-minute cities or whatever, like I used to be very happy that you could just like walk across Alameda and it only took like 45 minutes, but literally you could get across the whole place and
More
just
of a
like
45-minute city, but you can do it.
yeah.
I mean, we used to do that a lot.
But I mean, yeah, just you go to one, either the East End or the West End. It's like within 15, everything is within 15 minutes. Like you just, if you want different restaurants, you just got to go to the other side. But there are restaurants and gas stations and like a park or whatever the fuck on both sides. And I think that like
also
that is,
in
like-
between.
Yeah. And in between, there's like a little in the Grand Street area that's like, I think probably more popping off now than it ever used to be. I think there's
Kind of like Grand and Lincoln.
yeah, it's like right there. There's more restaurants and stuff that did not used to be there back in the day.
Hey, if any of you are either from the Meta or visiting the Meta, Forbidden Island. How about Forbidden Island, huh?
Yeah.
Gotta love that tiki.
We were just actually talking about this, Ham and I, the other day, that like there's a so like the Tiki Lounge in Alameda, Forbidden Island Tiki Lounge. They're like I really like going there. The drinks are great, but their food selection is like it's solid bar snacks,
Buffalo Chicken Bites. Shouts out.
but it's
Buffalo
not
Chicken
like
Bites, if you're listening, please
food.
reach out.
Where there's like a couple
Please.
other places we've been to, like Con Tiki in downtown Oakland, where they like you get a chicken sandwich with your tiki drinks, or you could get some garbage popcorn chicken. The other option used to be better, but like they have a bunch
$17
of
nuggets.
they have a bunch of
Don't
other
sugarcoat it.
options for food there, and it's just like it helps like being able to stay there longer without like getting hungry for food or whatever, because you can get like a real meal with your with your drinks.
What's that tiki lounge we went to? It's in Oakland, but it's not really
Kona
downtown.
Club.
Yeah, that's the one.
Piedmont.
Yeah, that's the one you can bring any food you want in.
Oh, I didn't know that.
I didn't even
I've
think
been
about the
fucking
food.
up.
No, yeah. So we've gone in there with burritos from Migriense, and like They don't give a fuck. But I was like, okay, I need to remember the next time I come here. It's probably just like some good etiquette to like, bring a couple tacos or something for the bar staff. They would probably be happy with some like, okay, they're getting fucking bum rushed by a bunch of people or whatever, like a small taco break.
I'll say I haven't been there in a minute. Actually, now that you bring that up. Yeah, we used to go there because the drinks were cheaper there than all the other spots.
It's just less convenient to get food there.
I feel like everything is kind of the same price now.
Yeah.
Damn, the one thing they had going.
Yeah, Forbidden Island used to be cheaper, and they changed up the menu. Like, they're all the drinks are pretty hit and miss now. But I like the ambience there, so
I liked the way it used to be.
Yeah, where you could stand like pre-COVID, where you could stand shoulder to shoulder with like 15 people and not be super worried about it, and like
you also didn't constantly need a reservation to get in.
You just had to like make eye contact with somebody that was sitting down, so you could like steal their booth like as they're leaving.
Well, you don't need the reservation anymore. You can get in without a reservation. They just tell you have to wait around until a table's available because they don't do the standing room shit anymore.
Yeah, no more.
And that's what I don't like about it.
Yeah, that shit used to be packed to the gills.
Exactly.
And they used to have like the guy playing the steel guitar and stuff.
They still do that on weekends.
On weekends, but I work on weekends.
Yeah.
No, weekends are my money making days.
You don't make commission. No,
you get.
I don't make
you get time and
commission,
a half or
but
something?
I get time and a half on Sundays, dude.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's like almost
go on a
$45 an
Sunday.
hour.
Don't go on a Sunday.
Well, all the people with seniority want Saturdays off, and I want Mondays and Tuesdays. So, I mean, if we're going to talk about hometowns and everything, Alameda's cool, but there's definitely a lot that I would change about it. Like, we talked about the abundance of restaurants. There's definitely some cultural cuisines that are severely underrepresented here, I think. Pat, maybe you can chime in on that a little bit because I feel like I barely eat here anymore because I'm always picking up food on the way home from work.
Sure.
But
I think for a Bay Area city, I mean, it's not Berkeley, it's not San
gonna
Francisco, it's not Oakland even, but Alameda does okay as far as cuisine diversity.
I mean, I stress okay.
Yeah.
What you said. It can be better.
Yeah.
And I feel like we did lose a lot of pretty decent to good restaurants throughout COVID.
Yeah, that's true.
Amongst
Alameda
bars and
doesn't have a good barbecue place, which is something I've always been like, we could use a good barbecue.
I was really hoping Spinning Bones was going to be it, but it's not. It's like, okay.
It's different.
It's just
not really barbecue. I'm talking about like ribs on the bone.
Yeah,
You remember
like
the spot that was
Everett and
on
Jones used to be there.
South Shore?
Oh, there was one in South Shore?
Yeah, where the Korean barbecue spot is.
Oh, no.
Oh,
Yeah, barbecue
Ogani.
spot there for like not Ogani, Bold.
There used to be.
where?
There was where Bold Barbecue is right across from
In South
Daiso.
Shore?
Yeah, that used to be a
Used to
barbecue
be a
spot.
barbecue spot for like a year.
Do you remember what it was called?
Oh,
Fuck no.
yeah, I remember it now. We went a few times. It was pretty good.
Yeah.
There used to be one
I forgot all about it.
where there's like a spot by, is it like a block up from Kaiser in Alameda that used to be a bar, and then it was a K-pop
yeah.
K-pop
Yeah.
karaoke place, and now it's a open mic spot.
Scoobies.
Was it Scobies?
Scobies,
It was
yeah.
Scobies. They used to have a barbecue spot in there that had like one of the best tri-tip sandwiches I ever had.
Like
and,
Willie's or something?
Yeah, and they had a second location. Like the actual storefront was in Oakland by Children's Hospital, like right across the street from there. And then they're both gone now. But that was like, it wasn't as good at that other spot, but in Alameda, it was really good. And I think it was just because it was this one dude that was like working there as the chef, but I knew him from back when I was working at the New Zealander, this like ex-con white dude that like made like a killer hollandaise sauce, and like he was like the main brunch chef. But he was like all a white dude with all a bunch of like tattoos and probably had some like swastikas somewhere or something like that. He made good food. That's all that anyone can
Was
say
his
about
heart
him.
fueled by hate? We'll never know.
Maybe, yeah.
I mean,
The hate cooked that
Easy
beef.
does love Chick-fil-A too, so
Yeah, good point.
just chalk it up to his taste buds.
To hate.
Yeah, I went to that barbecue place in the back of Scobies once. There was also like a little like burger pop up.
Yeah.
that was there one time. Also not bad. But
Yeah.
also long gone.
Exactly. It was kind of disappointing because I also really like barbecue places. I don't necessarily like Everett and Jones. It always just feels like
I'm not a fan.
less than
I
it
don't-
should be.
No,
Like,
it is Everett and Jones is the shadow of its old self.
Yeah.
It is not
because like
as good as
Alameda
it
used to have an Everett and Jones. They had two, or they moved or whatever. There was one by the base and then one on Webster. And And that was like I feel like it was better then, and now it's just like it's not as good as it
Everett
used to
Jones
be.
used to be like a hallmark of like Oakland and like food in general. Like it was one of the bigger.
And now it's just like kind of
now it's
watery
just kinda
sauce.
Like, everything is always, all the meat is pretty much always overcooked. Like sometimes, like I've gone recently, and it was still really good, but like I want to say 3 out of 5 times
Damp brisket.
You're walking away with overcooked meat.
Soggy links.
Yeah.
But they do give you options in your barbecue sauce, which is why I do like it. So
It's declined in quality so much over the last like 5. My perception of time is so fucked. It's declined over like the course of 10 years.
Yeah, I actually
Horribly.
I remember going to the one by the base with my
Yeah.
parents, and it was like it wasn't good, and that was at least 10 years ago.
Yeah. That was also the worst one. The worst Everett and Jones that I had been to. And like somebody was like, oh yeah, the one on 35th or over by 35th is like the better one. But like that one is also High Street. Yeah, but it's also bad. It's also not fucking good.
the one in downtown when it was open was really good for a while, and then they just closed it during the pandemic, and ever since then we've had to go to the one on High Street if we want barbecue, because there's nowhere like when it comes to mind where do we get barbecue. That's the one fucking spot that like
was
because I ain't going to fucking Famous Dave's. I'm not gonna.
I'm glad you brought it up because I was
That's all
about
we have
to.
left.
Yeah,
that place is like way overpriced for what it's got going. Famous Dave's. Like I think I've been there like twice, and just me and one other person spent like over $100.
It really feels like a rebranded Dickies.
Yeah. Dickie's Barbecue Pit. That place is garbage as well. I think I keep seeing them on DoorDash. Dickie's Barbecue
You
Pit.
can DoorDash Dickies?
This is in Hayward.
Oh, yeah.
There's that one in Emil Vila's Hickory Pit or some shit like that.
that sounds horrible.
Yeah, I know.
That's just another word for asshole.
The Hickory Pit.
Hickory Pit.
The Hickory Pit of Emil Vila.
The chocolate starfish.
So LQ used to fancy the
Chocolate starfish.
the chocolate starfish over
Happy
the hot
hour
dog
at Dave's,
flavor.
not the worst thing in the world.
Oh, they have discount beer?
They had. We were going there like I want to say like every other practice. We'd just stop by there afterwards because we'd finish relatively early. We'd have enough time to get
Because
some
we
happy
started
hour food.
practice at like 11 a.m.
Dude, why?
We should go to Lucky
We have
13 one of these
jobs.
days. Or to a bar.
I did.
Hey.
Fuck you.
Oh, I got to go grocery shopping tonight. South Shore Safeway's open forever. That's fine.
Post midnight.
Dave's is open. You're good.
Post potatoes. Dave's?
Yeah, get your groceries.
Yeah,
at
they
Dave's.
fucking. We went there one time, and they were just like, "Oh yeah, we're here for the happy hour. We're just gonna order what we got last time." And they was like, "We don't do that no more."
I forgot. This.
What?
Is that why we
Yeah.
stopped going?
Wait,
Yeah, that's why we stopped going.
Wait,
Okay.
Dave's? Or, Dave's?
Yeah, like they
Normal
literally
happy hour?
handed us the happy hour menu. We were ordering food.
No,
and they were
we
like-
don't do that.
And they're like, "Oh yeah, we don't do happy hour anymore."
See,
I'm
this
just like-
menu you're
so we just
physically
left. We
holding?
just literally got up and left.
I went there, the first time I went there, the server happened to be this kid that I was like close friends with in middle school. And I was like, oh shit. And he was like, oh man, like, how have you been? It's great. And then I saw he gave me the employee discount afterward. And I still paid like a fucking $100 on it though. And
Yeah.
I was like, I wouldn't come back here. But I went there because I won a thing from work where I did really well this one quarter, or I did some shit. And my boss was like, thank you. You made us look really good for Bank of America. Go take your girlfriend out. And I was like, oh yeah, how much? He was like $75. And I was like, oh crap. And I sent him, and I was like, it would turn out to be 150, like $100 He's like, it's fine. Just expense it. And I was like, oh fuck yeah. I didn't pay for it in the end, but it still was a lot more than I would ever pay.
Yeah.
Hey,
I only went because I didn't pay.
since we're on the subject of barbecue and this is somehow tangentially related, do you remember a time that you and I, DZ, and possibly you, Ham, Pat, I don't think you were with us. Maybe, but we went to the old Rudy's Can't Fail Cafe in Emeryville.
Oh god, the $100 with no tip?
It was more than that.
$100
And
with no-
I was going to bring up the fact that you politely asked, hey, technically it's after midnight. You guys don't happen to have the ribs ready, and dude just like basically spat in your face.
You asked at 12:01 though. Do you have the ribs that are supposed to be?
It wasn't 12:01.
I was there, and I remember it was 12:01.
I was not there.
He was
Okay,
upset.
all right.
Okay, 12 o'clock.
This
is
was
the
after
start-
a show, probably.
And 12 o'clock is the next day.
Sounds
Just
right.
saying. But yeah, he was very upset. And I was like, okay, well, the thing is, he said no and proceeded to have an attitude the rest of the fucking night. And so I was just like, oh, you know what? Like, I don't actually care about giving you a tip. You like, this is one of the one instance where I feel like a tip is a judgment of like how well the work you performed was versus like, I know you need this to live, but you're just being an asshole. I really don't want to give you my money.
Can I?
I was saying, I feel like that says a lot because I feel like you're like the highest.
I'm at 20% bare minimum all the time. And just like that incident really pissed me off.
I'd love to give tip.
Yes, all the time.
You technically did leave him a tip. You put a little asterisk on the receipt.
Said, don't be an asshole.
No, you said don't be a dick.
Don't be a dick.
Yeah.
In the tip line on the receipt. I don't know if he read that because he did run outside and ask, what? No tip?
You mean as we were driving away?
Literally as we were driving away.
If you're listening, fuck you. I really don't. Yeah, whatever. Fuck
Damn.
you.
If you're listening, please reach out.
You're not
Or
gonna
not.
get you're still not gonna
On
get
the
your
pod.
tip.
We would like some ribs if you're listening.
Only if it's a Thursday.
Is that still there or is that one gone too?
No, they're all gone.
Emeryville's still there. Emeryville's still
Yeah,
there.
Are you
Emeryville's still
kidding
there.
me?
The
They,
Oakland one
they
is
closed
gone.
relatively early, but yeah, they're still there.
That's the original.
That's wild.
Yeah, because
they're
the
open for-
Oakland is
for-
Emporium now.
Huh?
Yeah.
Oakland's Emporium.
Yeah.
Oh
I'm
wow.
so
we
upset.
we
Yeah.
have like 3 pinball machines. Wow. What a cool barcade.
Yeah, I was gonna say arcade bar.
There was like on that same note of the arcade bar stuff. One time I was in like the city at like, it had to be like 10 or 11 o'clock at night. And there's just this dude in a beat up ass fucking like Acura. And he had
Acura?
Acura.
Yeah, could you say that again, please?
Acura, like a Honda,
Acura?
like an Acura,
Acura?
Acura.
Acura?
Fuck you.
Legend of Korra?
But he had like an N64 and a GameCube and like 2 monitors hooked up to the back of his car, and he was just like $2 to come play fucking video games on the side of like it was like in the Mission District or some shit, just like on the side of a bar, and he was just like chilling out in his car, charging people to come play video games. I was like, that's a solid fucking business model to catch a bunch of drunk people. You're gonna get robbed at some point. It's the city. Someone's gonna take your shit. That's kind of valuable now, but like, it's a cool little like side hustle. You just gotta have a gun with you or something.
Speaking of arcades in the city.
Oh my god! Wait, are you talking about like high school?
Yeah.
When we went to the arcade and it wasn't an arcade.
So, my dumbass
you're
doesn't
about
know
to-
what the term arcade meant.
Well, no.
Turns out it has
these
multiple meanings.
if you're in
in-
San Francisco, it does.
So arcades were just a little history lesson. An arcade was somewhere where you can go to like pay to play
With
pay
yourself.
to see movies, films, typically of the adult variety. In high school, we got a field trip to. It was the stupidest shit. The high school was just like, okay, field trips in San Francisco. You guys have fucking 4 hours. Just go wander
That
around.
was the point of the trip. That just let you loose in
no,
San
it's not. Where did
Francisco?
we go? We were out there for a reason. and it
has
got
to be a
canceled or
reason.
something.
No, we were not. We did this once a year. We all took the ferry to San Francisco and we had a couple hours to hang out in San Francisco. They were like, go have fun. Just be back here by the time the boat leaves or else you're getting left in San Francisco.
I mean, that sounds about right. I feel like there was a reason we were going out there.
Yeah,
but
I'm
like,
sure
I
they
can't,
pitched it
I
some
can't-
way for
yeah.
the parents to sign the permission slips, but like they were just like, kids, go have fun in the city.
We
We
did
did-
want to teach that day.
There was a large portion of that time, I think, that we were in the GameStop though. Before we
The
went
one
up
on,
there,
fucking-
over by Market or whatever.
On Market, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we were like, okay, well, we're fucking 16 years old. What is
This
there to
is
do?
the beginning of us having smartphones too that
Yeah.
had like GPS, and it was like, okay, we can use
Google Maps
Google
just
Maps,
started.
but we can't use turn by turn directions.
Mm-hmm.
It was like, we need to go find this address. Here's this, blah blah blah. Okay, it's something arcade.
We just typed in arcade, like one of the one that was closest to us. One spot was closed, and we're like, okay, then let's go to the one that's next closest.
and the one that was closed, you could see inside that there was like video games or something. I
Yeah,
think.
it just wasn't open
Yeah.
on fucking Wednesday or whatever the fuck. And then we wandered
Up to that sketchy ass tunnel.
through the tunnel.
Yeah.
And then we got to this one place, arcade, like big pride flags hanging outside. Like we should have guessed what was about to happen, but like we all walk in, and then like the one dude that was with us, super homophobic, like literally walked in, and like we all walked into as like a group, and then the guy working at the counter was like, "Oh, a group of you guys," and then they're like, "Do you see anything you like?" And then like we look around, and like there's just like naked dudes on posters, and then the homophobic dude we're with, he's like, "Oh, what the fuck?" And he just like runs. He literally physically runs out, and I'm just like looking around, like trying to figure out what the fuck where am I?
Okay. Yeah.
And then like literally I'm looking around like, what the fuck is this place?
Did they ask like IDs? Like
Not even.
No?
They did not ask for IDs.
Jesus.
They were just like, "What's up?" And then the dude runs out, and we're just like, "Oh, we're supposed to like stay with him." That's like the group we were with. So I was like, "We gotta go find him." Sorry, we didn't mean to disrespect you or nothing. So we leave, and the guy walks back out, and he was like, "I know you'll be back. They always come back." And I was like,
no, we won't.
"Wow, interesting."
You said this was in high school?
Yeah.
Yeah, this was like junior year.
Yeah, I was
junior,
like
senior year.
10th,
I don't remember.
11th year.
Probably
grade.
junior year, not senior year. But yeah, I legitimately was like, what could happen here? I don't know. I am interested. I might come back. And then I had talked to my principal about it, and they just started laughing like they died when we told them the story. And
We went
they're
to an
like,
arcade and we almost went in.
yeah. And then he just thought it was so funny. He was just like, "Yeah, you guys need to learn a lot more about the city."
This is why you had unsupervised field trips to San
Oh
Francisco.
yeah, we
to learn
learned
shit like this.
We learned a lot. I learned more about the culture. I came out of this a better person.
Your principal was onto something.
Yeah. Shouts out, principal. Love that dude. Hope you're doing good.
Please call in.
Please call.
We're not a call-in show, but
We could be.
We could be.
we could be.
Just put him on speaker.
We could find a telex.
Yeah.
But yeah, speaking of the culture, learning things about culture, did you guys see that Oakland is looking at cutting funding for arts and festivals, like specifically like the stuff that goes on in like downtown during the summer and all that stuff?
I did read an article about that was talking about like it is just one of the many cuts that the new mayor is proposing because they're trying to get the budget underway, like get the budget fixed. But like I think of all things, that's probably like the last thing that they should be like worried about cutting. Because like I know it's hard to get cops to want to be like an officer in Oakland, but also like Oakland's budget for police is ridiculous. It's like I think it's like over half of what the city spends on anything.
Spend a little extra money trying to undo like the perspective of them being one of the more racist police departments in
Just stop
area.
Stop with the overtime. Might save a couple programs because
it's mandatory.
Well, yeah, and that's what I mean. But like some of those cops are making like $175,000 a year, and then they're getting overtime. And then like I know that there's like stuff about them not even actually doing work in some instances and just like writing in to get the overtime regardless and still getting paid for it or whatever. But it's like, there's definitely things we could cut out that don't have such a negative impact on the actual community. We're like this feels like one of those, like, it's not even a gray area. It's just like a black and white situation where you're like, okay, we know scientifically, like having more cops doesn't necessarily lead to more safety. And then especially like in Oakland, like it's been proven out that like, okay, yeah, just because you have more cops in West Oakland does not make that the safer place in Oakland to be at. Like if anything, it's Piedmont and they have like the smallest police force. So it's like
All of 12 cops.
yeah, exactly. It's like things like that. And we're like, oh, you want to get rid of the arts and culture stuff that like really keeps Oakland, like it's what makes people like being here and like celebrate the life here. Just like those things that you look forward to while turning the blind eye to the bullshit that's going to happen. It's like, I'm going to go to this arts and culture festival. My car will be broken into by the time I get back to it, but it was still a dope festival. Like I say that in jest a little bit, but also like it's it's the things that like make you want to go out and do stuff, like First Friday and all that stuff. Like I think that was one of the things that they were talking about cutting is like
that was the main
funding for First Friday because it's like decline in patronage or whatever. But like I imagine part of that is COVID. Another part of it is that like shooting that happened at First Friday a couple years back.
I feel like First Friday definitely like it diluted itself. It got too big. I feel like if they shrunk it down back to how it was when it first started, shit could be popping off again. But
yeah, because it's like every side street down First Friday also has like some little art venue that's like popping
like,
off.
I think it's important for local vendors, musicians, artists to be able to have those spaces, but like have like a rotating one that goes through them or something. But I think it's attracted a lot of negativity over time. Like it started out very positive, and I feel like now there is still a lot of positive. I think there are still more positives than negatives, but now people know that like, oh, this is a place where people are congregating. They let their guard down, and it ends up attracting a lot more like you said, like your car getting broken into. That shit's gonna happen.
Yeah,
like, and it's gonna happen more frequently with a larger mass of people in the area.
And one of the other things that I noticed, like one of the last years that I went there, is like those venues, they charge money for the artists to come do stuff and like sell their art and whatever. And like, that's cool. Do whatever you're going to do. But like, if part of the like logic is that you're going to expand more just so you can like get more money out of the artists without actually contributing much to the event itself, because you're just like pulling traffic away. Because like I've worked at
realistically they're paying for the permits, and that's pretty much it. The city
no that's the thing. It's like it's not a permit.
They control the permits anyway.
It's not a permit if you're doing it in your own space. So this is what I'm talking about. Like they have instances where there's like little galleries or venues that are off the side streets that aren't part of First Friday that are operating at the same time, but they're charging artists still to like use those spaces, and like it draws traffic away from First Friday, like off to the side street, more dangerous areas in some instances. But I know I've worked at one. I don't think it's there anymore, but like I've worked at one and I've seen like it's cool. Like you can drive traffic to certain artists or whatever, and like get people to come down there and see the stuff. But it's also like you're paying somebody that's not necessarily part of First Friday to be part of this First Friday event. So the money that you're contributing isn't necessarily going to the event itself. Because like I know the vendors that are there on First Friday, like they're probably paying rent to have their tent there and paying for permits and whatnot. But like that's an actual like gray area of like, it's down a side street. It's not part of the actual thing. It's just I'm operating in an event space all the time anyways. I'm just going to do this now too. And it's just like, I feel like that's probably helped reduce the amount of money that First Friday's making. Because it has to make some amount of money, like, or not necessarily profit, but like self like to become self-sufficient at some point or something like that. But it's like
technically free, right? Like anytime I've been, people ask for donations.
It's free. Yeah, it's free to go, but like to buy stuff because it's vendors and stuff like that. Right. And like those vendors are going to be the ones paying for their
they're paying for a
space
spot
or a lot. Yeah, exactly.
They're paying the city for a spot.
Yeah.
At First Friday Place for my tent, and you're saying these like side street businesses, they're just taking. Advantage.
We worked at one, Pat.
We did.
I
know exactly what you're talking about.
Like that place, like that operates. I'm pretty sure that one operates. It's not part of First Friday.
No, it's also not typically an event space, but they do have a decent amount of events there.
Yeah,
but that's not its primary function as a business.
Exactly. It was. Yeah, exactly.
The auto body shop.
Yeah, there we go. And so it's like it's a weird thing that they're able to do, but also like it's not contributing in a way that's like productive, I think.
Yeah, I don't 100% blame them for taking advantage of just having to be located right off Telegraph.
Yeah,
where First Friday is being held, but you might have a point.
Yeah, it's like I mean, there's a way to incorporate that, and I mean, shit, if they already do it this way and like they're charging them or help like making them pay to contribute to the First Friday event, that makes sense. It doesn't really seem like it because it's not like there's like 4 different venues as you go down. It's like you go to First Friday and then you cut down the side street, you go down like 7 different empty storefronts, and then it's just this random garage that's got some stuff going on with a big mural across the street from it. And it's one of the sketchier fucking streets to walk down over there. Like there's no real street lights, or like there's not enough street lights, and just like constantly cars that are broken into and whatnot. Yeah.
So my biggest thing is like I feel like First Friday stopped being about Oakland. Like I want to say like a year or 2 into it. Like I stopped going to them because like a lot of the art, like yes, most of the vendors are from like Oakland, SF Bay area, but it's like why is just some random old white dude selling tie-dye t-shirts.
Because
He's from Napa. Like he came down here from Napa for fucking First Friday. I'm like, I don't want to give this dude money. Like, I feel like they lost the focus on equitable representation for people of color and artists from Oakland. Like, I feel like it was Oakland First Fridays, and now it's just First Fridays, and anyone that can afford to pay for their booth or whatever ends up showing up.
And then
they really priced out. They've
Yeah.
priced out a lot of the local artists. So now I'm just like, well, why? What's the fucking point?
And that might be why they're not doing as well. Like maybe the turnout isn't as good because all they're going for is like, oh, I just want to go buy tie-dye shirts that some dude bought off of AliExpress and is now reselling through fucking this art gallery thing. And it's just it's interesting because I know like I've never been into much of them, but I know there's like a bunch of storefronts that are also operating on Telegraph or whatever. Like during First Friday, and like they're not open they're open during the day and usually close at night, but then they're open to have art. Like one of our friends, graffiti artist, had a space, like had something at First Friday in one of those storefronts during one of their things. So I know it's like, it's definitely like a good thing to have like on Telegraph, but it falls back to that thing of like, when you have those side streets where there's people still trying to like operate, it definitely like pulls away from the, I don't know. It just makes it less safe. It makes it like somebody else is trying to extract profit from it or trying to like find a way to make money off of artists that isn't necessarily the same as like just getting into an event to be able to sell your art. It's like, I also got to pay this fucking event space, probably more than the other places because it's a nicer indoor space, whatever. But it's like, it takes away from the overall feel of the whole event. And I've only ever been to First Friday like 2 or 3 times. Did you guys hear about the unhoused lady that won the lottery recently from Pittsburg, I believe?
Pittsburg, California, Pittsburg, Pennsylvania.
California, out here. And I think from what I remember, it said that like she was happy about it, like very excited because she was going to be able to like pay her kids tuition with it.
That'd be funny if she was like just bummed. She won the lottery, just like,
Oh, man.
She won the lottery, but then fucked up in how she executed it because everybody knows her name already. Mm-hmm. I guarantee every piece of shit in her family that like let her go be homeless in a car was like, hey,
California,
now that you got money,
yeah,
how have you been?
Good. Yeah,
I think in California you have to like state
you don't have to tell the press who you are. There's a thing about like there was a guy a couple of years back or something that like went in a Halloween mask.
Right.
You can find out I think you would be able to find out his name or something like that, but technically the California lottery, I'm pretty sure is like a private industry. It's not like a government substance. It's definitely not going to like,
Pretty sure it's regulated by some.
it's
type of
regulated, but it itself is not a government agency. It's like they have regulations they have to follow, but I'm pretty sure you don't have to like tell the public who you are. I think the thing is like you can publicly announce it, you can go on the news and all that, but like I think a lot of people do because it's an exciting time to like, oh yeah,
you want to talk your shit.
Yeah, I'm not working class anymore. I'm middle class now.
Yeah,
I got $1 million.
I'm not lower middle class. I'm just middle class.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, knowing that they were able to do that and like win the lottery and probably get them out of one of the harder times in their life, knowing that they're like living out of their car. And I think I want to go back and read some more about it, but if they're still like living out of their car and out in Pittsburgh, I feel bad because that has got to be the worst place to go be living out of your car at, because the heat and like the cold and just like there's nothing out there, and just anytime I work out there, it's like a struggle to find a bathroom if I'm driving around all day, and it's just like I can't imagine like trying to live out there in that situation.
You're struggling just working there, let alone living there.
Yeah, exactly.
Unhoused.
Exactly.
Yeah, I think also another thing about like people that end up winning the lottery is like you always hear about the people that win the lottery, they end up going broke in a couple of years because there's always some type of mismanagement of the funds, because someone that's living paycheck to paycheck that suddenly gets this massive influx of money doesn't know how to properly spend or save the money. So I feel like a big disservice that comes from like this whole the concept of the lottery and like winning this massive amounts of money is that these people don't have, and not necessarily all people, but
America
a lot
does
of the
not
people,
teach financial literacy.
There's no financial literacy involved, and that's the only thing that's worrisome. It's like, I'm really happy for the lady that she can change her life, but like, I hope she is able to invest some of the money into proper education and making it sustainable.
Yeah.
There's like a method of like winning the lottery that like turns out to be the most like financially like smart moves. It's like, you don't tell anybody you know personally that you won the lottery. You try to avoid telling the public. You hide your face or whatever. Try to keep it anonymous if possible. You let your name out if you need to, but like you don't let your face out. And then you immediately, because you have the two options. Typically, it's like a bunch of payouts over a certain amount of time, or you get lump sum at once, and then it's immediately taxed, and you get like they tax it like 60%. Something that's fucking crazy. So you get like less than half of what you actually won. But the trick from what I've read online about it is like, you immediately go to a financial planner. You don't do shit. You don't spend any money. You immediately go hire a financial planner, and you spend whatever $5,000, $10,000 on that. And you guarantee that everything else you have is like, I'm putting this much away to live on. I'm going to pay myself weekly or monthly or whatever. And then everything else is going into investments or something that's going to be able to generate some income for you or not lose value. Just sitting in a checking account, your money is technically losing value because of inflation. So like, if you do it that way, you can guarantee the like biggest return on your money, because $10,000 in the short run, if you have just won the lottery, is not really that much. But if you're spending $5,000 every couple of days because you won the lottery and you just got too much money to deal with, you're going to be fucking sad real quick.
Yeah. So that's why plan B is you take that shit to Vegas.
Yeah. And you either double or nothing.
Double or nothing.
Yeah.
I won $1 million. I'm going to turn it into $5.
Exactly.
I've never been to Vegas, so I don't get the big deal with gambling. Like, I've never really had disposable income like that to really think about
Buffalo.
to think about what it's like to just like throw the money into the machine like that. Like, it's weird though, because like there are definitely hobbies I have that take a lot of money, but gambling is not one of the things that like
Don't you buy trading cards in the hopes that sometimes you get rare ones?
well
No, it's a yes or no question.
no, I don't.
You don't hope
you don't
that
buy
there's-
packs. You don't buy packs. That's
If you
the
did
rule.
get a rare one, would you want to sell it?
Of course.
Okay.
So you're playing the
depends
lottery.
on how
You're saying you're
depends
playing
on
the
value.
lottery.
You buy singles. You don't buy packs.
No, I'm asking
Packs
what
are
you do.
gambling. Huh?
I'm asking what you do.
I buy singles.
You
I
only
stopped
buy
buying
singles now?
I stopped buying packs. Yeah, because it's a fucking, unless it's like a super hype set with a bunch of like miscellaneous things you want to get just for the fun of opening it. You have to, whenever you purchase a box of cards, you are acknowledging that that money is likely gone. The likelihood of you getting something that would make it worthwhile, like, because if there was enough value in every box that you are making the same amount of money as the value of the box,
That would make
or
sense.
more, it wouldn't make any sense because
Yeah.
you would just sell them, buy more
Yeah.
boxes.
No.
You have to acknowledge that that is not an investment.
You have to gamble.
You have to gamble.
That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. It's gambling.
Yeah, so there was a point in time where I was addicted to the shit.
So
I
you're
was
saying
buying a
you
packet-
do get
I was
why
a
people go to
pack a
Vegas
day kind of guy.
Yeah, you do get why people go to Vegas to gamble.
I mean, yeah, but
It's a more immediate return on your investment though with gambling and not just doing the trading cards, because like it's within 5 seconds you could get $2,000 or broke. Either way, like you could.
guess, yeah.
On that same note, Hoodie, how do you feel about the lottery winning or gambling or both? Do you play scratchers or anything like that, or like do you follow any lottery stuff, or no, not at all?
The most I ever follow from the lottery is if my mom calls me and she goes, "The jackpot's 72 million" or whatever.
Make sure
Gotcha.
you buy a ticket on your way home from work.
And I never do.
You never know.
Yeah, my dad does the same.
The lottery is just a tax for people who are bad at math.
I know myself pretty well, so I know I can sit here and say, yeah, if I won the lottery, I would love to hire a financial planner and make smart investments. But the boy wants guitars.
Yes, 100%.
The boy wants a new car.
Yep.
You know? And
And that's why they say the first thing has to be that, or else it's bad. Because if you do it after you start making purchases, you're like, I'm a good financial planner, is what you start saying to yourself, and then you just start making the bad decisions.
Luckily, I have the self-awareness to know that I am a very poor financial planner. So winning the lottery, not on my bucket list. As far as gambling, I enjoy trips to Vegas.
Yeah. Do you, airport gambling, or you like going?
Oh no, I do
drinks?
Vegas properly. I get a hotel on the Strip, and I go gamble. Instead of bar hopping, I casino hop.
And get the free drinks.
Yeah, usually. Typically what I'll end up doing, I always set aside a certain amount of expendable income before I leave and say
$100 or something.
Yeah, exactly.
That's your limit.
I think the most, okay, this was at a different time, but the most I ever set aside for gambling was like $800.
Nice.
It was a mistake. I never thought I'd financially recover after that. Typically what I do now, like I'm going for the festival this weekend, so I'm not really intending to gamble that much.
Not gonna be hitting the slots a ton.
Yeah, I think I'll probably set like maybe 150 is my cap.
Yeah.
So I can go have a little fun, maybe get some comped drinks.
You'll have some time between Corn and Deftones to
Oh
do a
yeah.
little blackjack.
Yeah.
Make sure you bring a Hoobastink shirt for the set.
That's bold of you to assume I own a Hoopastink shirt.
No, I said from the show.
Oh,
so
yeah.
make sure you bring a Hoopastink shirt back for the set.
You want me to get you
We
one?
have it.
No, it's for the table. That's it. It's a joke.
Oh, for the table? I could get all of
he
you
caught on.
Hoopastink
He caught where
shirts.
I was going.
Is Reason Hoobastink?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, back on the gambling. So let's say not a festival, right? If I'm going to Vegas, I'll set aside maybe $300 to go gambling. And the only reason it's such a high number is because let's say I start my night at the Luxor, right? Because I'm staying there. If the Luxor is not hitting, if I lose, let's say $50, that's a sixth of my budget right there, I will move on to a different casino.
And then you grab a tall can from the street vendor and just keep walking, or
No, I go to Fat Tuesdays.
is that the liquor store or the
No. It's the place that sells the giant yard of
the slushy thing.
daiquiri.
Yeah.
Yard
Gotcha.
burrito.
Hard.
Gotcha.
Yard Garita.
Gotcha.
There's Fat
That's
Tuesdays.
the one that has like the lanyard attached to the
Yes.
cup. Oh, okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I remember
They
that.
also have them in Tahoe.
Okay. Well, we don't go there,
true.
so it's fine.
We
I've
should
only
if
been
they
to Tahoe.
have
I've only
that.
ever been to Tahoe.
We should.
So I'll start at whatever casino I'm staying at. If I'm winning there, then I will just keep going until I stop winning. But the thing is, even if I've won, let's say I win $200, right? Because it's happened before. If I'm still at that same casino and I go back to the 300 I started with, then I'll leave and go somewhere else and try to keep pushing it somewhere else. Because
As long as you're up.
yeah, well, because if you hit big on a machine, the best thing you can do, and the hardest thing for a lot of people,
Leave.
is to get the fuck out. Because once you hit something big on there, and it varies by machine, but I'm not saying once you hit $500. When you hit anything over
20.
yeah, get out and go to a different machine.
Yeah, because it's not rigged, but it's not rigged.
No, it's rigged.
Yeah,
It's absolutely rigged. And that's why if you actually want to make money gambling, never ever play slots.
Yeah.
Slots are designed to eat your money.
Yeah.
You have to play actual casino games. And the reason a lot of people don't is because they're intimidated by actual casino games.
And the immediate, like you were saying previously, Buffalo, the immediate gratification of just like the random like lights and colors every time you hit a fucking like not even a jackpot, but a small jackpot or something. Too.
just think about most slot machines, especially the ones you see people playing, because
Which are now mostly digital.
I play a lot of the analog ones because that's where I've won the most of my money playing slots. Last time I was in Vegas, when I was there for Double or Nothing last year, I put $10 in the machine. 2 spins later, I won $500.
Nice. I had a coworker who put $20 into a random machine as he was walking through a hotel casino that he stayed at for work. He just put $20 in the first machine and got $2,000. And he was like, I'm going to walk away. I should not continue. And I was like, fuck you.
I won that 500 and I immediately took my ticket and went to go cash that in because I was like, I'm not going to push the luck any farther than that.
I went, put $20 in a machine, lost it all, and just was like, you know what? I'm good with gambling. I just walked away. I haven't done it since. That was like 10 years ago. No, that was like 6 years ago, not 10.
I mean, admittedly, I'm looking forward to it this weekend. Yeah. Honestly, I might be looking forward to it more than the festival.
Nice.
But it's more so the fact that I'm going to go get a Fat Tuesdays, which is one of my favorite things.
I feel it.
And probably end up walking the strip till 4 a.m. being drunk.
It's... For me, I think the fact that they have
Thank you, A1.
The dispensaries more available now is like that's really cool to like be able to get weed and or alcohol. But like I also know the one time I went to Vegas, there was just like the random street vendors that are selling tall cans, which are cheaper than the others, like some of the other random spots that are selling alcohol. But there's also like there was like some random liquor store hidden inside the mall area of a hotel where they just sold tall cans for like relatively cheap, but it was like 30 yards from a bar. And I was like, yeah, fuck this bar. We're just going to fill our backpack up with these tall cans and just fucking walk around, I guess. This is the easier option. Because, yeah, I don't know what else there is to do in Vegas besides walk around and drink.
The only time I went to a casino... What? The only time I went to a casino, my friend got arrested because his our other friend's sister works for the police.
What?
I'm sorry, it's the plot of Persona 5.
Oh.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I knew that was...
I never saw it coming.
Let's cut that whole bit.
Yeah, Yams, leave that in, please.
I've never been to Vegas. I've never really gambled. DZ was saying that you can buy weed in Nevada now. I don't know how true that is, but
It's
the first casino where I can smoke a blunt is taking all my money.
I don't think they've gotten there yet, but surely it's going to be
I don't think you can
somewhere down the
sell
pipeline.
liquor and weed in the same place.
That's unfortunate.
Not yet.
Not yet.
That seems like an
If it's happening anywhere, it's happening in Vegas.
right. You'd think they'd be on top of that.
I
Anyway.
mean, the amount of shit that I've seen in Vegas, the fact that they can't sell weed and liquor in the same place is just, come on.
Yep.
Anyway,
Hey, since we were talking about the most that has been won gambling, remember how I said I set my budget at $800 one time? And that was a mistake? Well, because when I ran out of the 800, I was like, no, surely my luck is going to turn around. And I never thought I'd financially recover because I came back from Vegas after having lost like 1,500.
Oof.
It was a different time. Yeah.
Interesting.
It was a different hoodie. It was poverty hoodie after that.
But you were big ballin'.
I really wasn't because I didn't have the money to be balling like that.
But
I was just being stupid and stubborn.
See, that's what I'm afraid of. That's why I'm afraid to go to Vegas, but also really want to do that. I feel like that's the kind of mistake you only get to make like once in your life if you're lucky. And
I'm glad
I haven't
that I
made it
did.
yet.
Yeah, you either make the mistake and learn from it or become an addict.
Right.
See, I'm glad that I made that mistake young and learned from it young, but it also taught Hoodie how to be very thrifty afterwards. Because I definitely remember after that was when I started hanging out more at like Buffalo Exchange and stuff and finding some really, really awesome stuff. It was around that time that I started being not only really into hoodies, but flannel. Yeah, flannel really changed my life.
They got a lot of flannels up at the Buffalo Exchange.
They got a lot of good ones too, honestly.
This is completely unrelated to anything. Is the soap in your bathroom from Costco?
I don't know.
the soap in our studio bathroom.
Yeah.
I have Dr. Squatch.
No, whatever the hand soap is just smells really good. Whatever a kitchen lime is, it's fucking great.
No, that doesn't
lime?
sound like
That's what it
Costco.
says is kitchen lime. I don't know where it's from, but it's great. Sorry.
No, yeah. In the other bathroom, I have Dr. Squatch.
Oh,
So,
gotcha.
Dr. Squatch, if you're listening, please reach out. I'm a huge fan.
I did see some Dr. Squatch packaging from the last episode we recorded sitting on the counter here, so that makes sense.
But yeah, speaking of thrifting, any big wins you've had recently, or anything that really sticks out in mind? Things that have you?
I
come
have
up on?
I have to go with my first. I think with my greatest like monetary come up that like it wasn't great for me, but for my partner, she was very happy about it in the end. I was at Eco Thrift, which is like a local thrift store out in Hayward. And I was looking through the bullshit section, which is just like random electronics and old power tools, golf clubs,
Your closet.
and stuff like that. And I seen on the shelf this like HP LaserJet printer that still had tape on the front trays, and I was like, oh, wow, that looks brand new. And I grabbed it and I was like, oh, it probably doesn't work. That's probably why it's here. And it said like untested on it. And I was like, okay, cool. Let me go grab power cord. And I took it to the front and I was like, let me test this. And they're like, oh yeah. And it worked fine. It actually, the first time it started up, it like froze. And then it started up the second time I replugged it back in. And I was like, okay, cool. It was $30. And so I bought it, but I like looked it up. The reason that I bought it was because I looked it up and it was a $330 printer that was just released 6 months prior. So like some office closed down after they just bought a printer or something like that. And I could tell that it was new because all of the trays with the toner in them still had the seal on them. Like they had never been cracked open. So I was like, oh, fuck yeah, $30. And I had that printer for since 2014 probably, because when I was living with A1, I had that printer up until I got rid of it last month. So damn near 10 years. Best come up ever. It was like an office grade printer and it just worked really well. And just got rid of it. I sold it for like $20. I sold it for $5, not even $20. I just wanted somebody to come pick it up. I didn't know it was so big and heavy. I didn't know what to do with it. Like that's probably the best like thrifting come up that I've ever had. And just like the most recent one, I found a sound bar, like a Vizio sound bar on the street by my old house. And I got it home and it didn't work. Like it wouldn't turn on. And I was kind of defeated. And I was like, all right, fuck, let me see if there's anything I can do. And I popped it open and it just something like they either dropped it or something popped off. Something came unsoldered from the board and it popped up out of place. And I was like, oh crap, I got a soldering iron right now. And I soldered it back on and hooked it up to my TV and it's sitting in my front room right now. And I replaced one speaker on it with like an eBay speaker for like $20. Mm-hmm. Great. Everything works perfectly. It sounds great. The audio is real clear. There's no crackling. It's solid. I would have spent a couple $100 in that sound bar and instead it was free. I was very happy.
Yeah, I feel like it's hard really having come ups on a lot of stuff lately because flea markets used to be the spot to go to, but now that everyone can just Google what something sold for recently on eBay, like you're never going to find something outside of like resale market price.
Even the thrift stores are like that too now, which sucks.
Yeah. Because like I remember going to the Laney flea market looking for like old like video games. So like I'd be able to find a couple GameCube games, PS2 games for pretty cheap. But now everything is $30-$40 a piece. Like
yeah, I think A1 and I turned down like at the Berkeley flea market turned down like $20 on like an old N64 because we thought that was kind of expensive or some stupid shit, and then just now to see that they're not anymore. Yeah, it's like $80 just for the console, no wires, nothing, just fuck.
I mean, definitely not my come up, but A1 has had a significant amount of come ups as far as like the N64s and the controllers go and stuff through the flea markets. So shouts out. Yeah, definitely.
There was like a period of time where we like, if it was like, it was like, if it was over $20, it kind of wasn't worth it. And we found a lot that was just like under $20, like games, controllers. Like I remember there's times we went to like Laney and we tried to haggle the dude. Like there was this one guy that always had like a bunch of GameCube controllers, but also GameCube games. And then he was always kind of a dick about his prices. I was like, yeah, that's way too much. And now looking back at it, like that was a steal, even though at the time it sucked. But now it's like, fuck. If you could only find like a good condition GameCube controller or GameCube under $50.
The worst thing about the GameCube controllers, and Pat will corroborate this because he was with me at Genesis this year, It's not the worst thing. It's truly a great thing that controller modders exists. And you can get all these crazy cool custom controllers. Like I picked up what I've been referring to as the Genji controller at Genesis this year for all you Overwatch enthusiasts like me.
Ooh.
But that controller is super cool. It has a whole new motherboard in it and everything that helps deal with some of the few drawbacks that the GameCube controller had. That controller was like $350.
Yeah. And is this a controller that I imagine has like a USB port you can hook it up to a computer and update it or something? Or is it just like the way that they made it is like specifically to
you
fix
can
issues?
update the firmware on the motherboard.
Okay.
I mean, maybe you'll know better than I would, Pat, but you can plug it into the computer using the Nintendo Switch adapter. So through USB through that. So I'm pretty sure you could probably just update it that way.
Is it a USB controller?
No, it's a GameCube controller with the GameCube
They
port.
literally just modded.
And there's no other ports on the controller.
No, it's it's just a GameCube
Gotcha.
controller.
So there's like a chance you have to like pop the fucking shell off to update it or something. Or?
Highly unlikely.
Gotcha.
I'm pretty sure at this point they've made it so you can just update it through the adapter.
Pretty sure that's true.
Yeah, because
sense.
also most of the controller modders will do free updates for you at whatever
Oh, okay, for sure.
tournament or wherever they may be.
Gotcha.
So come next Genesis, I may as well just bring it to him and be like, hey, can you update this for me if there's an update?
Yeah, that makes sense.
Also, me and Hoodie take Melee way too seriously. You do not need a modded controller for most GameCube games. We're just
Elitists.
way too deep.
Yeah.
Okay. Sum 41 announced today that they are calling it quits after being a band for, I think they said since 1996. So that's somebody do the math.
27 years.
Right? Yeah. So 27 years later, you want to talk about in too deep. That's where we're at right now.
We all know.
So don't get us.
Do it, Ham.
Assisted.
It's
at the
fair
end of the
use.
episode.
It's under 30 seconds. It's a
And it's
cover.
poorly sang.
Yeah, it's fine.
And it's at the end. No one's going to listen this far.
Hey, I mean,
If you
we're
have made it this far, please like and comment. Let us know you made
Let
it
us
this
know
far.
how you feel about Sum 41 if you've made it this far.
Comment the phrase "RIP Sum 41."
But before we get off of it
broadcast.
though, the thrift store that I was talking about earlier, Eco Thrift, is also one of the best like clothing thrift stores that I have found, just because it funnels like college kids from CSU East Bay.
Mhm.
And it's like, I think it's like either right after their freshman 15, they're clearly dumping their whole wardrobe. Either they gained a bunch of weight or lost a bunch of weight. And like, I've found people like clothes my size, like English laundry pants that normally go for, I think it's like $40 to $50 for $5. And like, I've gotten like 3 pairs because some dude, same size as me, 36, 32. It was so perfect. I was so happy. And like trying to find those pants online or anywhere else, they're like $50. I'm not paying that for that. But like I've gotten all sorts of like workwear, Wrangler pants, the English laundry stuff, a bunch of like cool graphic tees, a Mouse Rat t-shirt back in the day, some Modest Mouse stuff.
We fail in the pit.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, it's like that's been the best for me, just because it's like they're clearly getting college student stuff that like they came to that school with, and they gained or lost weight, got rid of their whole fucking wardrobe while they were there. And you just, because you'll go there and you'll find a bunch of stuff that's like in a section that's clearly all the same size because it was from one dude or somebody died or something. And it's just like, I've gone in there, found several pairs of pants that are clearly from the same wardrobe, or like several shirts that are clearly from the same wardrobe. And I'm like, all right, I'm glad I came when I did. Got all this stuff. And I never spend that much more. Like, it's like at most for a shirt is like $3 that I'm spending. I'm never spending that much more than that.
Very reasonable prices.
Yeah, 100%. It's like every time I go there, I'm always like surprised. Even if I don't come out with like a ton of shit, I'm always like, a pair of pants that would have cost me like $40. Some Duluth Trading Co. shirts that are just like really thick, good work shirts. It's like, I got them for $5. They're fucking $45, $50 online.
So the only big score I've ever gotten was the wizard, he's got family that like buys what are they called?
Storage units.
Storage units. Yeah, and he just noticed that they had a bunch of like this is literally like a fucking cooler, like full of magic cards, and he saved it for me. So he was like,
I remember that.
Yeah, he was like, I don't know what the fuck's in here, but I said I gave my aunt $20, so just fucking take the time to sort through it. So like I spent like a good like week just going through like this fucking ice chest full of magic cards. Ended up finding like a pretty decent stack of like a bunch of like beta stuff, which is like
The rare.
not the, I mean, as far as like the longevity of the cards, like, yeah, so most of them, the most expensive stuff I found was like maybe $20-$30 a piece.
I mean, that pays for it, though.
But
that
yeah,
pays for it.
yeah, exactly. Like not like all of like the big hits, like someone had already sorted through them. Whoever's collection it belonged to, they already got rid of all the all the big stuff. But yeah, that required a lot of sorting, a lot of like researching. Like, oh, when did this card actually come out? What edition is it? Like,
Yeah.
that was kind of fun though. That was pretty fun part of the process, which is like cataloging everything I found. Got a stack of $3 cards now.
Pat, do you ever go thrifting?
No, I like eco thrift. I've been a couple of times on your recommendation. I did get a decent jacket thrifting recently. I don't do it a ton. I should do it more actually. But I went with my girlfriend. We went to this place, Out of the Closet by Lake Merritt.
Gotcha. Yeah,
It's a nice little store. They had some.
So that's like the Magic Johnson.
Yeah.
I think he is affiliated with it.
Yeah, it benefits AIDS HIV research.
Yeah.
Stuff like that.
There's like a you can get like
a clinic there
clinic
too, right?
in the back, yeah. It's a multifaceted location, but they sell thrifted clothes, and I got a pretty decent jacket there.
I'll say their collection of CDs and movies is typically pretty good. There's pretty good. There's last couple times I've been there, there's a lot of good stuff in there.
Yeah, I didn't take a ton of. I didn't look at their media super hard, but I will next time.
It's hard for me to think about wanting to get DVDs ever because I know like the half-life on them is like if they came out 15 years ago or whatever, the
film is already separated.
The chances that they're going to be good for a long time. I don't have a way to fucking process those onto a computer.
I don't even have a way to play them at all.
I was gonna say, is your PS5 digital?
No, I have the PS5.
Oh, that's it.
Slot.
Yeah.
But you put like Mission Impossible 1 in a PS5, it's going to break the whole thing.
So what are you, poor?
Yeah.
Just fucking breaks
Get
itself.
a Blu-ray, you bitch.
Yeah, exactly.
So on the complete opposite end of what I would consider thrifting, I think this is going to require a longer discussion than what we have left, but we certainly need to talk about malls. And real quick, because we have a lot of malls in our area, ranging from really like pretty good.
We got Westfield in the city, which is
Westfield and San Jose.
Westfield and San Jose, which was good.
We also have like Durant.
We have Durant, we have Eastmont, and then we have New Park Mall in Fremont, which I just needed before.
Yeah, no,
before we get too deep into it.
Wait,
and I know it's something we should get to next week, but I need to say one thing about New Park Mall.
Okay.
The last experience I had there's just half the storefronts are gone. There's just some guy at like 9 a.m. walking his dog through the inside of the mall. And I swear to God, I saw the dog piss on like the fucking like tile over the side. He just kept walking like he was outside. But it's like, it's a nice air conditioned place when it's hot outside. I get it, but also
his dog was just pissing on the Auntie Annie's.
Exactly. And it's like, and everything, all the stores are closed there. But yeah, sorry. I had to, that's the.
Well, so I know I said we need to discuss that. My constant absenteeism is probably going to be a problem. I'm not going to be here next week because my flight doesn't land till like almost 8 o'clock.
So you're going to get in-flight Wi-Fi and Zoom call us from the plane.
Oh yeah. Yeah, totally. Because I'm flying on Spirit.
Are you?
Ooh, fun.
Yes, I'm flying on Spirit. It was cheap.
Oh God, I'm sorry. Don't check anything then.
I am my carry-on.
Okay. Yeah. Good.
No, but in all seriousness, I will be rolling back to that, but in my stead, please discuss that. And for all you commoners hanging out there and listening to us, come hit us up on Twitter. Tell us about malls. Tell us about your thrifting. Hit us up in the YouTube comments. We're looking. I mean, seriously, we are. But with that said, I'm Hoodie.
I'm Ham.
I'm Pat.
And I'm DZ.
This has been Common Rabble. See you later.
And yeah, but don't forget Common Rabble Pod on all the social media.
Yeah.
Especially Vampire Freaks.
And FetLife.
And Second Life, if you're nasty.